Yo, what is going on, guys? Achilles here, and we are back, baby. We are back. We are back. That's it's a good feeling. It's been a pretty crazy week and a half, last week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. I know it's been a extremely long time since I've posted, probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. Just been extremely busy this last week. It was the last week before initiation, and your boy is now a bona fide brother of Phi Gamma Delta, or Fiji, as it is known. So pledging is finally over, which I am extremely thankful for. That was the worst semester it was the best semester that I never want to do again. Let's put it that way. So yeah. So what have I been up to? Well, besides the fraternity thing, we are actually going to be going to. I'm going to Georgia for Thanksgiving, which will be fun. Got the big old Southern family, gonna have a huge dinner with like 20-30 people at the house, and it's just typical family stuff. Everybody loves doing Thanksgiving, and I know some of those people aren't fortunate enough to have such big families, which I'm very thankful for. I feel like the whole Black Friday bullshit kind of overshadows Thanksgiving as a whole now, because no one really knows what it's really about, and I feel like the actual meal and coming together and appreciating what you've been appreciating what you've been given throughout your lifetime, may it be through family members or just opportunities, just having a family and a roof over your head is it's something you need to be eternally grateful for, because there's some of those people that just don't have it. But we will be going to Georgia for Thanksgiving, and that will be very fun. And then, the semester is actually almost over. So I actually, after we get back from Thanksgiving, I probably only have about 2 weeks of actual classes and stuff. And then there's finals week, and then I have literally an entire month off. So I'm 99% sure I'm just gonna be playing some. I've kind of been neglecting World of Tanks recently, just because I've been playing a ton of Black Ops 3. It's actually surprising that the first good Call of Duty game in 2-3 years. So it's very relieving to play a good Call of Duty game, just because Treyarch actually knows what they're doing. But when I have been playing tanks, I'm kind of torn, because my good buddy Dibs, which you guys have seen hundreds of times on this channel. He's the go-to guy I play with all the time. We've been playing just video games in general together for probably about 6 years. He actually does not have an Xbox One, and I actually got rid of my Xbox 360 to buy, just to get rid of it. I knew it was going to be time with the backwards compatibility stuff, so I actually traded in my 360. And now the only way that me and Dibs can ever play together is if we have one of our clanmates in the Squirt clan. That you guys have probably been asking what that S is next to my name when you look at the scoreboard. That's what that's what our clan tag is for the Squirt clan. So yeah, but yeah, so we actually can only play together if someone who has a 360 and a 1 hosts the platoon, and it makes me cry every time that I don't get to play with my boy. He's the homie. But we've it's just tanks, man. I feel really detached from it, man. I've been hopping on the game, playing probably 5 or 6 games, maybe once or twice a week, and I just feel so detached. I haven't played this game in so long. It sucks. I haven't been able to keep up with all the community bullshit, with all the clan switches and stuff, and haven't been able to get as involved as I used to be. And I really lost track of streaming and stuff. I've tried to keep the YouTube together for the most part, but this last week and a half I feel like it was a big drought for you guys, and I apologize, but real life stuff does come and does get in the way sometimes. So, and I know most of you guys can understand that, because most of us have lives here. So yeah, but these gameplays. So I've been going on for about 5 minutes here talking about just life stuff and boring stuff that you guys probably don't want to hear about. So these gameplays were actually some gameplays I got at home. I actually went home for the weekend this last week, and I went to a Lightning game with my dad. That was really fun. Tampa Bay Lightning, if any of you hockey fans out there. But yeah, so these gameplays I got the night before we went, and I was really just feeling the E100. I don't know why. I really wanted to play the E100. And yeah, so this game wasn't particularly good. I don't feel like it was anything spectacular. I just feel like it was a really tense game. You know, Ruinenberg is one of those maps where, like, since everybody, you all have to converge, or, you know, what's the word? Converge, that's the word I'm looking for. Since you all have to converge at one point, you know, and duke it out, it's always really intense when, you know, there's the power struggles for the middle street, like where we are now, and there's like 5 of us, just a huge clusterfuck. So, yeah, this map is, I feel like, I really like the war variant of it. You know, it adds in those extra cover aspects to it, because if any of you guys who have, I'm sure some of you have played the PC version of this game, there aren't any war variants of maps. It's like a console exclusive thing. So, you know, having, you know, the regular Ruinenberg doesn't have like all these dirt piles and debris and stuff everywhere, so it's pretty much just open streets. You know, the field, like the northeast part of the map doesn't have any of those buildings. You know, there's minimal debris on the middle road. That's probably about the only place there's actual like cover debris to sit behind, is on the middle road, along the like EF line. And I feel like it adds a completely like new meta to this map, just because you can push up really aggressively. Say if you're in like an IS-7, like this map is a gold mine for the IS-7. You know, there's some spots where that tank is just it's such a pain in the ass. And I feel like it's just a pain in the ass in general, just because of how troll it is. But yeah, so, you know, the E100, you know, this is one of those tanks I've done like a whole entire like hour-long review on. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. It's like I feel like it's the old dog of the tier 10 heavies. You know, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a one-trick pony, but it pretty much, what it does extremely well. But other than that, it's just not that good in some situations. You know, the E100, it has the huge alpha, you know, ton of armor, ton of hit points, but you know, you gotta know how to make it work. And as you can see, there wasn't really that fantastic of a game. I just felt like it was a really, really tense game. But back to the E100, you know, I feel like the E100, it really does take a skilled and, you know, well-versed driver to use the E100, just because it has qualities that give it the ability to just be kind of driven without care, in terms of like armor, I would say. But you know, if the only thing you know is to cover up the lower plate, then you're not really using the E100 as it should be used. You know, I've mentioned plenty of times before, I've put up probably about 2 or 3 E100 videos on my channel, and the main thing with the E100 that I don't see a lot of people do is that they don't angle their turret, and it's such a crucial thing, just because the better people get at this game, the more they'll realize that you're not really going to have that much of a chance against like some hold down tanks. Like E100s, the only way you're going to get through a hold down E100 is if you hit that viewport bar that's really, really small and really hard to hit, unless you have a really accurate gun like this bad boy right here, my baby, the 215B. Or, you know, just like some TD gun. So, you know, people are gonna get a little less careless, and, you know, start spamming heat and, you know, just going right through the front of your turret. And, you know, I feel like that's one of the forefronts of the E100 is the lack of penetration on the armor piercing rounds. You know, it really deters a lot of people away from using the E100, just because they just got off using the E75, which is, in my opinion, I think it's a little bit too strong for its tier. I feel like they should dumb down the lower plate a little bit, just make it just maybe like 5 or 10 millimeters less thick, just because that thing is a brute. It's by far the best tier 9 heavy in terms of like just soaking up damage. There's no other argument for it. There's no way. It's the E75 is the king. But you know, when you get the E100, your lower plate is actually weaker than the E75s. You can see that for yourself if you go on like any armor inspector and you go and compare the 2 lower plates. I think the effective thickness of the E75s is somewhere around like 215, 220, 240. No, not 240, like 225, somewhere around there. And then the E100s is only probably about like 195, 200, something like that. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's just an estimate. But you know, people with the E100 just blindly just drive it around. They think they're the best. They think they're in some Zeus tank, and then they just end up getting like just absolutely clobbered, because they're forgetting the crucial thing with the E100, and that's angling the turret. It will save you so much damage. It will save you from losing so much HP. That's if you take nothing else from my channel, then take away that if you angle your turret in the E100, you will survive longer and be able to take just a ton of damage. So, you know, the E100, it's I love it. It was my first tier 10, but this is my pride and joy right here. This is the 215B. I don't even know how many videos I've made on this tank. I'm trying to kind of deter away from it, and you're gonna see why right here. The esports is beautiful. That right bumper, right trigger is just absolutely amazing. Like I don't even have a vertical stabilizer on this tank, and you can still just hit esports shots like that all the time. You know, it's just what the 215B does. So you are probably wondering why there aren't any base cap flags on this map. This is actually something for those of you who have, you know, haven't played in a while, or maybe don't play console and just PC players. This is actually something Wargaming had added in. People were requesting just like a straight up team deathmatch mode, and it's called Team Destruction. And unfortunately, you can only get it when you're playing solo. But you know, it's really interesting because it adds a whole new aspect to where, you know, say your whole team wants to lemming train. Because if you look at the map right now, we've probably got about, I'd say about 67% of our team in the town, or just on the east side of the map in general. So you know, you completely lose that entire part of the game with the base. So you can just carelessly bring your whole team to one side of the map, roll the map, and then just turn around and go back to wherever all of them are. I feel like it's kind of a good thing because it's a fun game mode just if you're trying to rack up a ton of damage, because I know sometimes people get pissed off when, you know, there's like a nice ammo rack there. People get pissed off when, you know, there's like 6 or 7 tanks left and then you just cap out. Like people hate that, and I know I do too. You know, unless it's like a dire situation where there's no possibility of winning like at all without capping, then by all means cap. Like if that's the only way you can possibly win the game. But if you can kill all of them, then that's the preferred way of going about things. Just because I like, you know, racking up as much damage as possible and going for like marks and stuff. Now granted, I haven't had a tier 10 that I don't have 3 marks on in my garage in quite a long time. I'm still debating on whether I just want to like completely get rid of all the 10s I have now. Like I'll get rid of all of them except for the 215B, just because it's my baby. I can't ever part ways with it. Or something, and you know, maybe like look into buying something else that you guys have suggested, like the 4202 or something like that. You know, I feel like to be quite honest with you, I can never see myself getting 3 marks on like a Russian medium, just because they're so boring to me. You know, people ask me why I don't like playing Russian mediums, and I just don't know. The only one I really can tolerate is the T62A, just because I just love the gun sound at it, and like aesthetics are huge for me. So you know, when there's a cool gun sound, it makes it a little bit better. But like the 140 and the 430, like they're just so boring. I don't know. I don't get what all the hype's about. I get like the DPM and stuff and the turret and, you know, all that jazz. But you know, I don't really understand what the big deal is. I know they're slightly OP. Cough cough. I know some people won't agree with me on that, but the DPM is fucking insane. So, you know, I can't see myself ever getting 3 marks on something like that, but I mean, pretty much everything else except for like artillery, I feel like I'm open to. I don't think I would ever do it with the mouse, to be honest with you, just because the mouse is useless because the E100's in the game. Duh. So I don't know. I won't be doing it on any tank destroyers either. Tank destroyers. Some of you guys may know how I feel about tank destroyers. But I just feel like the tier 10 tank destroyers are really, really easy, and since we haven't gotten any of the like the PC alpha nerfs or anything like that, you know, probably about like 6 or 7 patches ago, or probably even more than that, when they buffed like the 268 and the T110E3 and the E4 fire rate. Like, what the fuck? What are you thinking? Like, they still have 850 alpha, and you're like wanting to buff the rate of fire. That just boggles my mind how they thought that was a good idea. But you know, it's whatever. I'm not a dev. So, you know, I mean, I could see myself doing maybe like the IS-7, you know, maybe like the Bat Chat. I don't know. It's just anything. I don't think I would do the E50M. That's another one of those tanks that I just don't find as fun as some people do. It's more like the pub star tank that I don't know. I just don't really like using like the pub star tanks. But pretty much everything else is up for grabs. So if any of you guys just drop some suggestions, and nice shot there. But maybe I'll think about doing maybe give me some variation, because honestly I haven't played anything besides like heavy tanks in quite a long time. I think the only 3 tier 10s in my garage as of right now are the E100, the 215B, and the 50B. So I mean the 50B is not really a heavy, but you get the point. So any suggestions that you guys would have for maybe I could do like a grind for 3 mark series, like I kind of was doing with, like Pseudo doing with the 113. I could just post like each individual game of me going for 3 marks, and I could do like a live com or something like that, and anything like that would be cool. Just any suggestions that you guys have. I can get back on the weak spot series, even though I don't really think there's that many tanks that really are worth it. I mean, I've covered pretty much all of the really like tough ones that everybody always has issues with. But I mean, if there's still some out there that you guys need me to maybe want me to cover, then just let me know. So I was planning on talking for like most of this video, but I've kind of like lost track of like I had like a whole like itinerary of what I was going to talk about for this video, and I just completely am blanking on it right now. But so I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So the whole clan situation. So apparently I don't know if you guys were there when they first released like the clan tags and stuff, when you could sign up for them. Many of you may know that the XGN members are quite the joke of the community, and we thought it would be an absolutely hysterical idea to steal the clan tag, the XGN clan tag, when clan tags finally got released. And this was an idea that we've had since probably about last year, or maybe like early January of this year. Like we've been scheming this for quite a long time, and we had finally got it. We had snagged the XGN clan tag, and we were just dying laughing because it was hysterical. Because you'd see people posting on the forums like, "Oh my gosh, XGN members actually contribute to winning the game." It's just countless threads like that. Is XGN getting good? Like it was probably one of the funniest 6-hour periods in terms of this game ever. And then one of the XGN, I guess, like delegates or whatever, went and talked to Wargaming, and we got our XGN clan tag revoked. So we had to settle for something else, and we came up with the S thing that we have. So if you see us in game, you'll know that's why. You'll see right there on screen the -S-. I guess you could kind of say it's a little bit of a rip-off off of the G, which is a PC clan. They've been around forever, and they're still pretty prominent today. But I mean, I just thought it looked the best because I mean, Squirt is 6 letters, and you can only fit 5 in a clan tag. So we figured we'd just shorten it up. So, and if for any of you who are interested in actually joining a clan, and you do meet the certain baseline requirements, if you go check out our clan thread on the forums, you can actually check what the requirements are. I think we've set it at like at least a 2300 overall win rate. If for those of you who don't know what that means, then just don't worry about it. But yeah, like a 2300 win rate, probably like a 56 and above average win rate, and then maybe at least like 3,000 plus recent W8, and it's not like set in stone numbers. If we see potential and you guys work well with us, then we have no issue bringing you aboard and just playing scrims and stuff. And I mean, this has died down like quite a bit since I actually went off to college. We took it pretty seriously. We had a pretty big roster right before I left for college, and we were scrimming all the time. I'm sure you guys have heard of like the Immortals and like Precision Gaming and all that. Those are probably the top 2 clans, and then Top Notch Gaming. They're pretty prominent as well. They're probably the top 3 clans in the game right now. I know Immortals is mostly an EU clan, or I think it's like half and half now because they've taken in quite a bit of NA players. So they're like half NA, half EU. And then Top Notch is actually gotten pretty prominent in the last like month and a half, 2 months. I think we've only scrimmed them once, and they beat us pretty bad. Then again, we hadn't practiced or done anything in probably about a month and a half, 2 months, so it was pretty hodgepodge. Definitely wasn't our A game. But you know, and then Top Notch, it was formerly known as WoT. I don't even know if WoT is still a thing. But I know most of those guys, like BR Tactics and all those guys, they formed they were Precision Gaming, and then they split up, and then just unified as WoT, and now they're back to Precision Gaming. I don't know what they're doing. They need to make up their mind. But you know, Squirt, we're still here. We're pretty dead, honestly. We haven't really, like, just because we don't have like a unified membership, like we don't have a ton of guys that just play constantly, just because, you know, most of us have, you know, been busy with life and stuff. So you know, I would love to still like play in the competitive scene and stuff like that, if I had the time. You know, I've just been so involved with like school stuff and fraternity stuff that I haven't really been able to give it my all and put in as much time as I would like to. Just because, you know, I really do love this game, and I know a lot of people do too, and they're really looking for that, you know, like that competitive aspect, and they're tired of just smacking around randos. You know, they want to feel that, you know, oh, I'm playing someone who's on a similar skill level as me, and we actually can, you know, work as a team and, you know, put some stuff together. Because we actually we placed, I think we placed 4th in the player appreciation tournament, which was, I believe, towards the middle of summer, and I think there was a 32 team bracket, and I know most of I think they were I don't remember what their name was. I think they were like the God Squad or something like that. It was like BR and all them, and they got DQ'd for cheating. Which, I mean, I don't know. They say what they will. I mean, we still would have played them, honestly. They act like we were scared of them or whatever, and I mean, they were going to be the hardest matchup we had of the entire tournament right out of the gate, because it was a rematch from the alpha test tournament that we had way back in the day, like probably, I don't even know, like at the start of summer. Excuse me, that like tier 5 tournament or whatever, and we lost to them in the finals. I think it's on my channel. You can go watch it. Actually, no, it's not. I didn't put those up. They 3-0'd us, and we got second place for that tournament. So, you know, they still hold a lot of ill will towards us, and I mean, honestly, they can do what they want. I don't really care. You know, I guess that kind of does suck that they didn't get to play. I mean, we were more than willing to play, even if it wouldn't have mattered, just for their satisfaction. I mean, honestly, just play fair and you're good to go. But, you know, enough about that. So, you know, this map here, Tundra, this is one of the ones that I've been really waiting for a really long time for them to add, and they had finally added it, and I was just extremely happy, because this is just, it has a spot for every tank in the game. It has your hold down spots for stuff like the IS-7, E100, all that, Russian mediums, you know, down the 1-2 line. That it's just a great spot for like just heavy on heavy brawling. And then you've got the entire eastern side of the map where that big ass island is, and the huge hill that everybody fights for. It's always just like a bloodbath up there. And you know, that's more for your like light tanks, super fast mediums, you know some pseudo heavies. You know, I take the 2 and 5B up there sometimes if we've got like, you know, 2 or 3 E100s or 2, and then maybe like an IS-7 or something going left. And you don't really need me there, just because they're going to be duking it out for most of the time. So yeah, so the end of this game, I'm gonna say, is pretty intense. As you can see, I haven't even lost a lick of health yet, but it's let's just say it's bound to happen. So I mean, I've pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about for this video, guys. So this is the last replay I had for you guys. I only had 3 replays. I just wanted to kind of talk for the most of this video, just kind of give you guys, you know, a sit rep, what's going on. Just because I haven't talked to you guys for more than 5 minutes in a really long time. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys, you know, a spiel of what's going on, what to look for in the future, and then just to ask you guys, the community, for you know, any suggestions for like video ideas and stuff like that. You know, I can still do tank reviews and stuff. You know, I'll still have to, you know, muster up the silver and buy back whatever tank you guys want me to do, and that's granted that I want to do it. There's some tanks that I just absolutely refuse to do. Just, you know, like artillery and stuff like that. Some TDs, just no, there's no way. Like, it's you don't really need to do a tank review on the Waffentrigger U100. You know what that thing does. It's fucking retarded. But you know, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this pretty intense gameplay here, and you know, just let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. You know, what you guys you know, just anything, honestly. Just, you know, tell me, you know, I'm glad you're back, blah blah blah. I love those comments. I love seeing those. Brings a smile to my face when I'm having a shitty day. I just see, oh hey man, you know, you're doing a really great job. You know, it really does make my day a little bit better. Even if you guys don't know it. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Again, just let me know in the comments. And wow, that shot, LOL. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I know I've said that like probably 4 times now, but this has been Achilles, and I will catch you guys later.